I was the only employee asked to stay late before the company announced layoffs. What happened in the CEO's office changed my career forever. The email landed in my inbox at 4:47 p.m. Everyone may leave except Hannah. That was it. No explanation. Just one sentence from the CEO's assistant. My heart immediately started pounding. I looked around the office as people packed their bags. A few coworkers gave me sympathetic smiles. One guy quietly whispered, "I'm sorry." My stomach twisted. We'd all been hearing rumors about layoffs for weeks. I was a single mom with an 8-year-old daughter and barely enough savings to survive. 2 months without a paycheck. Every second felt heavier than the last. When the office finally emptied, I took one deep breath, stood up, and slowly walked toward the CEO's office, already preparing myself for the worst conversation of my life. When I stepped inside, the CEO wasn't alone. The head of human resources sat beside him with a thick folder. My knees almost gave out. "Please, have a seat," the CEO said quietly. Nobody smiled. Before either of them could speak, I forced myself to ask, "Am I being fired?" The room went completely silent. The CEO looked down before sliding the folder across the desk. "Open it." My hands were trembling as I opened it. Inside wasn't a termination letter. It was a file containing printed emails, expense reports, and bank transfers. I looked up in confusion. "I don't understand." The CEO leaned forward. "Someone has been stealing from this company for almost 18 months. My eyes went wide. "Yesterday, our auditors finished the investigation." He pointed to one document. "Every transaction leads back to one department." I stared at the page. Then my entire body froze. The department manager's name was printed across the top. Melissa, my direct supervisor. The same woman who constantly criticized me and kept telling everyone I'd be the first person laid off. "There's one problem," the CEO continued. "Melissa claims you helped her." My heart dropped. "What?" I shouted. "I've never stolen a penny." He nodded. "We know. That's why you're here." He turned his laptop toward me. Security footage showed Melissa entering my office after hours, logging into my computer, and copying files onto a flash drive. Another clip showed her placing signed invoices back onto my desk before leaving. My jaw dropped. "She was trying to frame me?" I whispered. "Exactly," the HR director replied. "She assumed we'd blame the newest employee." Every fake warning, impossible deadline, and public criticism suddenly made sense. Melissa wasn't trying to push me out because I was bad at my job. She needed someone to take the fall. The office door suddenly opened. Melissa walked in carrying a coffee cup and instantly froze when she saw me sitting there. The color drained from her face. "What's going on?" she asked nervously. The CEO stood up. "Why don't you tell us?" She looked around the room. "I don't know what you're talking about." The CEO placed the security photos on the desk. Her hands immediately started shaking. "One last chance," he said firmly. "Tell the truth." Before she could answer, the company attorney entered with 2 police detectives. Melissa actually gasped. "Wait," she cried. "I can explain." The CEO calmly replied, "You already had 18 months." Melissa burst into tears as the detectives informed her she was under investigation for fraud and embezzlement. She looked directly at me and suddenly screamed, "This is your fault." I slowly stood up, looked her in the eyes, and quietly answered, "No, this happened because you believed nobody would ever catch you." The detectives escorted her out while employees watched through the glass walls. Nobody defended her. A few people quietly clapped as the elevator doors finally closed. A week later, the layoffs were canceled because most of the missing money had been recovered. The CEO promoted me to department manager, the very position Melissa had spent years protecting through lies. Last Friday, my daughter proudly taped my new office nameplate to our refrigerator and hugged me so tightly I almost cried. Sometimes people think karma takes years to arrive. Sometimes it walks through the front door carrying a badge. And the truth. If your boss secretly tried to frame you for a crime they committed, would you stay silent until the truth came out or fight back immediately? Yes, no.